Hello, hello, hello. There's a hair on my phone. Gone now. Hello. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Today is Wednesday, April 29th. Yes, that's correct. I'll say my normal spiel, which is if you are watching this on the YouTube, then you are not watching it live. It is a pre-recorded video from an Instagram live I did on Wednesday, April 29th from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Eastern Daylight Time. So, hello, good morning, Annette in California. Good afternoon, all the things. There's a cat right here. So, yep, now she, come on, say hi. Say hi to the people, say hi. Say hi, oh, hello. Yes. Just me and Mosey, it's raining outside, so, well, really? Yeah, I'm gonna need you to figure it out. Okay, thanks. Okay. She's so cute. Come on. And good evening, France. And hello, Arizona, and all the people. It seems like we're going to have a little cat friend here with us, probably most of the video, because it's currently raining, and when it rains and potentially thunders and lightnings, then she is my shadow. Sometimes in the mornings, she can be very, very clingy, and so I call her Shadow. So I hope everyone is having a fantastic week so far. I've been at work the last 2 days, and it has been busy, which is always good. So thank you all so much for your if you've placed any orders or anything like that. I very much appreciate it. You keep me busy, so that's good. Hello, I know. Come here, come on, Mama. Oh yeah, say hi. Say hi. Yes, he's a good girl. Go. There we go. Okay. Annette asked, is Gentle Art Sample Threads closing temporarily? So we really haven't gotten a whole lot of communication from the Gentle Art, to be completely honest with you. All we really know is that they are based here in Ohio, and they are, to the state of Ohio, not considered an essential business. Maybe to us stitchers, we would consider them essential. However, not the case to the government. So they are not open right now, and they are not shipping, and they are not taking orders or anything like that. So, yeah, that's kind of where they're at with General Art. Our governor here has put a plan into place to begin to start reopening the state on May 1st. And it's kind of a slow open, which is really good, and really, optimistic. And I think that he's trying to do it very safely, which I so much appreciate. Manufacturers of items can begin opening on the 4th, I believe. And so I don't know what that means for them, because they really have not been communicative with any shops, not just Keepsakes. So that's all I know about the Gentle Arts. Someone asked, let me go back, see if I can find the comment. Someone asked, Yvonne, you asked if Keepsakes carries DMC. Yes, we do. There are some colors that we are out of so let's talk cross-stitch supply chain really quickly. And there are probably people out there that know and can explain this better than I can, but a lot of our items that we use to stitch with come from Europe. And shipping from Europe is slow, given the current climate of the world. And so people like Classic Colorworks and other thread dyeing companies use DMC as a base, along with DMC just making regular DMC. And so products are coming. It's just at a slower rate than we would probably like. So yes, the long answer to your really easy question is yes, we carry DMC, but there are some colors that we are out of and have been back ordered for the last 4 or 5 orders we've placed. So, and yes, Barbara has a lot of orders going, and like we are not, really, we are not a online shop technically, and so it's a whole different dynamic for us. And Barbara and I had a really good conversation yesterday about what the future of keepsakes will look like, at least and when I say future, I mean like the close immediate future, like what the month of May will look like, because retailers are able to start opening their doors on May 12th. And so what is that going to look like for keepsakes, and what's the safest way to do that, and put a plan in place, and all of these types of things. It's, and talking about how basically if keepsakes and other LNSs are attempting to stay open during this time, and do what it takes to be a online phone order only shop during this time, and it can be challenging, but we're making the most of it, and that is in great thanks to a lot of you for supporting it. So thank you so much. And who was that? Sarah's Hook and Threads. I literally almost read it as Sarah Shook and Threads. Wow. She asked, if I call keepsakes, would I just need a list of the DMC I'd like to order? Yes, ma'am. That would be perfect. Yes. Okay, let me really, if I tap the screen too, yes, we will get through it. So, we are on the tail end of my whip parade. So I think I counted, I have 6 projects left. I'm going to try and get through them today. If I don't get through them today, then I will obviously finish up tomorrow. And then after that, it's kind of up in the air as to what I do. I'm not 100% sure. So moving forward, good luck, Tony. She has to go to the dentist. Oh, don't like the dentist. Stitching D, how is keepsakes with dental floss? Hard to find right now. We have a lot of empty holes on our dental art wall. We do, yeah. But I will say that between all of us on staff, we are really, I don't mean to toot my own horn over here, but we can easily find a substitution for you. If you are flexible and you are willing to, if we are out of a called for dental art floss, if you're willing to substitute, we would be happy to do that for you. It might take us a little bit longer to get all of the substitutions in order. And by a little bit longer, I mean a day or 2. But because there's only one of us in the shop at all times, who's taking phone orders and that kind of thing and pulling orders. Like when I go to work, I'm pretty much in the office all day. And that is placing orders. I always have a stack of, that's being dramatic. I have a stack of papers on my desk, and they're special orders for you folks. And the things that I need to order, we place orders with our distributors every Tuesday. So, like for charts and things like that. We have outstanding thread orders with Classic Colorworks and Weeks. So cross your fingers that order arrives in its entirety. Because anybody else out there really needing Oscar? Okay, cool, me too. So yeah. And so that's what and then I also make all the shipping labels, and then I put them in a basket, and then they get processed, and then I do all the packaging and all that kind of thing. So that's why if you receive an order, just know that it has probably 9 chances out of 10 been touched by me. So in a loving way, in a very sanitary way, I promise. So there are a lot of empty slots, yes, for general art, but our hope is, and I don't mean to get on here and bash general art, because that's the last thing I'm trying to do. But out of the 3 big floss brands, General Art, Class Colorworks, and Weeks Dye Works, we have the most trouble getting colors. The company with the most back-ordered threads is General Art. And because they're called for so much, and they're not a huge operation, right? So, the demand is really high, and they're not able to produce at the rate that is necessary, which they're very aware of, and they're working on, and they're trying to figure out a way kind of to make everybody happy themselves, and the stitchers and the shops and all the things. So they're working on it. And our sincerest hope is that they've taken this time where they're not fulfilling orders and to really hunker down and figure it out. I would hate for the scenario to be where they're not doing anything right now. So let's hope. Janae asks, can Keepsake send a PayPal invoice if you're not comfortable giving your card number over the phone? Yes, it is possible. But we don't have a PayPal invoicing system set up for Keepsakes. We have one set up for StitchCon. So if you receive an invoice, it will be from the StitchCon email address. So we can make it happen. But I can also assure you that as soon as we have your order complete, we shred and all of that. So, I totally understand and respect if you're not comfortable giving your card number over the phone, 100%. And we will make it work, that's for sure. But also know that we are very conscientious of not keeping your personal information exposed either. So, and Roseanne, if I haven't received some order charts from last week, can I assume that they are on back order, so to speak? Yes, ma'am. Yes, absolutely. And we really try to communicate with people as much as possible. I mean, if you place an order and you haven't heard anything, then yes, you can assume that the charts... Oh, it's fine, Janae. Don't worry about it. It's totally cool. I'll get back to Roseanne in a second. We just want to... we keep all the monies very separate. You know what I'm saying? So there's a specific account and a specific LLC for StitchCon. And then there's a specific account and a specific LLC for Keepsakes. So just to make sure that all of the monies are in the correct buckets. So you couldn't see that, but I said buckets. And so we can make it happen. We can make it work, and we can transfer the money and do all that thing. So it's no problem. But it just might take us a minute to get it together. So, okay, so back to Roseanne. So if you place an order with us, 9 chances out of 10, if there's something missing from your order, I don't want to say even 9 chances out of 10, I want to say 10 out of 10, but then again, we're not perfect. So we will do our absolute best to communicate with you about, hey, we have this chart, but we're waiting on this chart. And do you want it a split shipment? Do you want to wait till your order is complete? Like, we will do whatever it is you want to do. We have zero problem sending what we have and then waiting on the rest. And there's a lot of different wheels turning in all of this. So, yes, we have our main distributors who sell charts, and that's amazing. And we place an order on Tuesday. It arrives on Friday. Like, it's great. And Hoffman has been amazing through all of this. However, selling your charts on Hoffman as a designer is not a requirement. So there are some designers who don't sell any of their things on Hoffman. There are some designers who only sell some of their things on Hoffman. So, and Hoffman is our, the largest, cross-stitch distributor in the U.S. And so what that means is that if you have a chart, if you have an order for, let's say, 4 charts, let's say we have 2, and then the 2 of them, one we have to order, we can get it from Hoffman, and one we have to order directly. So that means that the rest of your order kind of comes piecemeal, right? So but we would communicate all of that with you. So, okay, so let me get Hokey14. You are correct. You are safer on the phone than on the internet. Amen. CBP Equine. Is it the PTP 32 linen that is tight? What we have referred to on Just Keep Stitching, is 32 Lugana that is tight. I have zero issue whatsoever with the 32 count linen. Sandy, I know Porsche's at the end, but I don't know what's in the middle. But Sandy, can you give the 2 dates for 2021 StitchCon? So, the first StitchCon 2020A, is the 10th through the 13th? Hold on, I'm going to phone a friend. I don't want to misspeak. I know that the second one is the 17th or the 20th. So yeah, that would make it the 10th through the 13th. Right?
10th through the 13th?
Yeah, 10th through the 13th.
17th through the 20th.
And the 17th through the 17th through the 20th. Yes. Okay, and Linda, please don't apologize for continuing to order. We love that. Hello, Tracy, New Hampshire. Thank you, Roseanne. I love you. Hello, Bayside Stitching from PEI, Canada. Did you hear Pam? She just went, yay. Okay, so, if you have more questions, feel free to ask them. I'm sorry if I'm like squirrel, but, okay, so, after I get through the remaining whips in my whip pile, then what I'm going to do next is kind of, like I said, up in the air. So, after this live is over and the video is all uploaded to YouTube and everything's good to go, I'm going to put a story on my Instagram with a little box for what you want to see from these lives. And any specific content. I'm going to continue to do this as long as it is possible for me. You all have been amazing and flexible with me. If I'm like, y'all, I need a day. Y'all, you have been incredibly wonderful, and I appreciate that so much. But like I said in last week's Foster video and Sunday's Foster video, is that as much as you all are getting something out of this, I hope, I'm equally getting something out of this. And I understand that just because Ohio is starting to reopen in May does not mean that everyone else is. And so I want to be that outlet for you if you need that. So even when Keep Six reopens, I will only be working Mondays and Tuesdays, and so that schedule won't change. So, So that means the live schedule won't change. So, Nayla, can I ask a question of the hive? I'm stitching Kringles, but can't find the Avera Spa size 4 that's called for. Anyone know of a source or a substitute? I know very little about Avera Spa, to be completely honest. But hopefully someone in the hive will know. So, Kringles calls for Avera Spa? That's fascinating. So, the fabric that Kringles is on and Avera Spa are both distributed by Access Commodities, and they're making a comeback, so that's exciting. I'm glad that you guys have enjoyed these. You're a bright star on a gloomy day. You're a bright star on a gloomy day. But yeah, so attic, the attic in Mesa, I think it is. Is it Mesa where the attic is? I know they're in Arizona. Anyway, oh, it's the gold thread for Kringles. Okay, gotcha. So I would call the attic. If I were you, Nayla, I would call the attic, because when I hear Avera Spa, my mind the next consecutive thought is the attic. And Jean is fantastic from what I know of her, which is not a whole lot, but I've met her once or twice at market, and just people speaking about her in the community, and so that's what I would do. If it's like a gold sparkly thread, I absolutely love Petite Treasure Braid from Rainbow Gallery. So, there's that option as well. And so Suzanne says the attic would have it. So, hello, Teresa Kogat. Hey, girl, hi. Oh, and Sassy Jax stocks that thread as well. Linda asks, is it best to slowly go up in fabric? So was Ada then my first 28 count, so next maybe 30 count? Will it be hard to just try a 40 count? So, that question, the answer is very personalized. So, for me, I would still consider myself a newer stitcher than most. I know a lot because of all the different hats I wear in the community and the industry, but and also like my personality is very much like dive in. So I have no idea why I was just like, I'm going to start stitching on 40 count. I just did. So if you know that you're going to need magnification, if you need magnification on 28 or 32, then there you go. I would do that, but I mean, it's fine to like ease yourself into it, but if you are like, if you can't stop thinking about 40 count, if you're dreaming about 40 count, I mean, I don't know anyone that's happened to besides me, so I say just jump in. And if you find that you're struggling, then maybe like back down to 36 or 35. So yeah, that's my thought. Do I stitch over 1 or 2 threads on a 40 count? I use 1 strand of floss and I go over 2 linen threads. 25, not as hard as I thought. I have a piece. Fantastic. The light that Pam uses, the one that clips on, She has one, well, she doesn't necessarily use it for the light. She uses it for the magnification. But either way, it's made by Mighty Bright, and it's a clip-on light, and it has both the little magnifier that's no bigger than than this, and then it also has a light. I think I said that already, and it's awesome, and she loves it. She uses it all the time, and it also, when you purchase it, it has a base that it slides in and out of, and so you could slide the light into the base, and then it will stand. So you don't have to attach it if you're like an in-hand stitcher, but it's ideal for clipping onto a Q-snap and or frame. So, Lori says, I do 32 count a lot, so what's another 8? Looking forward to doing something on 40 count. Love a challenge. Yes, ma'am. And, the Cotswold Crafter, I hope that you enjoy 28 count Lugana. It's nice. Okay, so, is there a trick to railroading your stitches? I'm railroading, but my thread still twists sometimes. There's really not like a trick in like this secret sauce. Yes, Pam, it is, that's the light that you ordered, that you ordered yesterday that shipped today. Yes, that's the one you ordered. Yeah. So while she's 65A, I mean, there's not really a trick. If you're having a lot of issue with your, like, twisted threads, I'm the queen of, like, holding my Q-snap up and letting the thread untwist itself. I do that all the time. And so, like, getting kind of neurotic about it and doing it all the time, that really helps. But I recommend watching my, Stitch with Steph video, that I posted last end of November, beginning of December. And so, well, if you stitch in hand, you can still hold your piece up and let the thread dangle. I mean, just letting the needle dangle either way. So, yeah, there's really no, like, trick to it. And it really, like, the part that I have learned over time, like, I've been stitching for 3 years. I've been railroading for 2.5. So, this is going to sound super woo-woo, but you have to really read your threads. And so, like, every single stitch that you do, every leg of every stitch, you need to read how they're coming out of the hole, and then make sure you're placing the needle correctly through the threads. So, seeing how the threads are coming up out of the fabric, I don't know why I keep doing this, but that's just what I feel like is the motion. So the way that the threads come out of the fabric, you have to be able to read them and to know which way and which direction to put your needle. So, and railroading with 3 threads, you obviously, like, can't go through them individually. You just pick 2 to go on one side and 1 on the other. So, okay. And, okay, Lori, question. Is 40 count, is it only linen or other fabrics as well? Is my LNS only had linen? As far as I am aware, 40 count is only available in linen. And a Stitch with Step video would be super fun. That's true. However, the logistics of it would be really difficult, and let me explain why. So, I want to be able to read your comments, like I'm doing right now. But if I do a Stitch with Step video, I mean, I could sit here and I could stitch while talking to you guys. That's no problem. I can easily do that. But I think that what you all would want to get out of it would be to watch me stitch. Maybe I'm completely wrong about that. Maybe you just want to sit and watch me stitch this way. But so you can see kind of what I'm talking about in regards to like railroading and all that. And so if I did that, I'd have to have the camera flip the other way so you can see the stitches, so it like, whatever. And then I won't be able to read your comments. I don't want to be able to do that because I like this interaction. So, yeah. I mean, it would be super fun, but I need to figure out exactly how to do that. Okay. Christy's Art Corner said that Vana has a great video on how to get threads on twist. There you go. Hard to hold up and dangle from your Q-snap when you have your clip-on light magnifier on it. It is? How heavy is your clip-on light magnifier? Wow. I'm sorry. The Monarch is a... Yvonne says the Monarch is a butterfly pattern that was a 2020 market release. It is small and calls for 40 count fabric. I kitted up through keepsakes. Thank you. Oh, you love the pattern fabric. Yay. Oh, that's awesome, Yvonne. It's not so much, Desi says, it's not so much the thread as it is the nature of stitching. The hand twisted the needle as you stitch. Does that make sense? Absolutely. 100%. It's not so much the thread as it's the nature of stitching. The hand twisted the needle as you stitch. So like you're physically twisting the needle as you... That is perfect. That's exactly what I meant. Okay. Oh, so One Mo Stitch says, Zweigert makes a 40 count Verdal, which is an even weave. I have never heard of that. So I will look into it. Lori said maybe you can stitch and Pam can read the comments. I don't pay her enough to do that. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I haven't been able to find a 40 count even weave, but I will do my, I'm like a dog with a bone with that kind of stuff. So when people are like, are you able to find it? I'm like, absolutely. Hold my Mountain Dew. Okay. Yes, Vana does go, she does the, I call it the, like, I think, I don't know if she calls it this or I'm just dumb, but I call it the jackhammer method. Is like, that's kind of what it looks like to me, where she goes down with the tip of the needle and she comes up with the eye of the needle. That way her threads don't twist. You broke your first petite needle last night. I broke like 2 the last 2 days. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to read through the comments. Oh, I'm sorry that yours is so heavy. Because Pam has a magnifier and light clipped onto hers and she dangles her threads all the time. Oh, 3 strands on a... Linda says 3 strands on a 28 petite needle, probably not good. I've used 3 strands on a 28. You're stitching on a 28 count fabric too? I would maybe use a 26 needle. Yeah, while she said, boy, that sounds hard, LOL, point first, and I coming up. I tried it, so we were driving somewhere on our way to some retreat, I don't remember, back when we could travel, and I happened upon that video because somebody had told me about it, and I was like, I just need to see this, because I'm very, like, I couldn't figure it out in my brain. So I watched it, and I was like, fascinating. And then, I was stitching in the car, because Pam was driving, I was stitching, and I was like, I cannot do this. I mean, it's probably one of those things that, like, over time, you get used to it and all the things. In the same way that railroading was like that for me, I wasn't taught to railroad. Pam does not railroad. It was just something I heard about on FlossTube and was like, that seems like something I could try, and I did, and I was like, game changer. But it took me a while to, like, get into it. So, I'm sure that it's probably, I mean, it's second nature to Vana now, I'm sure. So, just in the same way that railroad is like that for me. Railroading is. Okay. And see, go, Jojo. That's fun to say. Go, Jojo. Said, that's how I stitch. I learned from her, and it's magic. And she also uses a lap stand, and lap stands are helpful if you're two-handed stitching, so. Yes. Okay. Mandy Mead says, random question. Is there a trick to prevent needles from tarnishing? I mostly use Bowen, and how long do you keep a needle before deciding to switch to a new one? I'm not 100% sure about preventing needles from tarnishing. I don't think I've ever had that problem, so I'm not probably the best to answer that. I also don't use Bowen needles. My needle of choice is a John James size 28 tapestry petite. And how long do I keep a needle before deciding to switch to a new one? I keep it until it breaks. Literally. I'm the worst. So, I don't have like a package of needles in every project. I have a needle case that was made for me by Cupcake Stitcher, and that I just have all the time. So I just keep that in my notions pouch with me all the time. So I'm not sure about the tarnishing though. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, it might be exclusive to Needleworkers Delight. Huh. Okay. The Vertle is what she's talking about. That, the even weave, the 40 count even weave. So, Gus Mom 2000. I stitched that way, eye first from the back, but only because I'm too lazy to turn my needle around. That's hilarious. And yes, Michelle said, I can't stitch without railroading. It feels odd. Me too. I agree. And Knitting Crazies asked, do you railroad all your stitches? Yes, I railroad every leg of every stitch all the time. Except when I'm stitching with one thread, obviously. Sorry, I'm just reading them through again. Okay. And yes, Connie, I railroad every stitch, yeah. Oh. Quilting Grimalkin. I got some hand-dyed Verdal from Bestitch Me. Fascinating. I'm gonna have to look into this. Pam,
What?
can you write on a post-it something for me? Okay, crazy for quilts. Can you write down Verdal, Verdal, 40 count? Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
What?
What? Verdal. Thank you so much. I just don't have a pen. Okay, so first of all, Crazy for Quilts, I'm obsessed with your username. It's amazing. She spells it, just for the people watching on YouTube, she spells it KRZ, the number 4, KWLTS. Love it. Okay, more importantly, she says, I switch needles when oh, thank you. I thought you were going to come wave. She says, I switch needles when the thread starts to fray, which means there's a burr in the eye. That too. Thank you for mentioning that, because I should have mentioned that. And there's always this, like, explosion of hearts every time you do that. Okay. What is parking? I have no idea. I don't park because I don't do full coverage pieces. I'm really sorry. Does using the sewing method prevent thread from twisting? Wow, another question that I have absolutely no idea. I don't have absolutely no idea. I don't do the sewing method. But I do I know people that do the sewing method, and it doesn't prevent threads from twisting. They still have the same problem, because you have to think of, like, as you're sewing that, using the sewing method, that needle is still twisting. So, so I don't think that it prevents the threads from twisting. Hi, Pam. Hi, Pam. Oh, I bet Kringles is really pretty on a 40 count. I think everything will be pretty on a 40. You guys, I ordered 2 Kathy Barrick charts from her Etsy. You guys are going to be like, what? When you see them, and I can't wait to stitch them on 40 count. Okay, I'm done. Here's something. Okay. Pam gave me a pen. Just gonna write things down. Okay. Hey, Pam. Kiss face, Pam. Vicky. Wow. I want to say Chamness? I have no idea. I'm really sorry. I just butchered your last name. This is what she just said. Are you listening? I can't believe I just leaned over and waved at Pam. Hello, Cooks on Queen. Birmingham, UK. Love you too. Hi, Pam. Parking is too many threads. How does the needle get a burr? I think it's just natural wear and tear. I also don't really know, but that would be my assumption. Oh, so Stitchy Student says, I use the sewing method and it twists like crazy with 3 upside down smiley faces. So, okay. Hello from Brazil. So the twist. So CBP Equine says, I'm assuming you meant I sew, and they twist. My wrist won't let me hold a Q-snap. They are too thick. I get it. Yeah. Yes, it's our secret about the Kathy Barrick turns. I can't wait to get up to 40 count after being an exclusive Ada stitcher for so long. It's exciting times. Okay. Yay. All right. So now that it is 2:45, time flies when you're having fun, people. So let's show a fun whip. Why don't we? Okay. So, in this, okay, burrs happen. Crazy for quilts, you know all the smart things. Burrs happen because the thread is constantly sliding through the eye. Okay? I'm just trying to think about that. So if the thread is constantly... Oh, and it's wearing on the needle is what you're saying. Hade.zquilts. I don't... I will, Crazy for Quilts. I will stick with you. She asked for floor stand recommendations. Neither Pam nor I have floor stands. Pam had purchased a lawn lap stand. It ended up not being something that she could use. I mean, she could use it, it just, like, wasn't her jam, you know. Everybody has their own way that they sit and what they use and the flow of their stitching and all of that. And when you stitch for 30 years, you have a flow. Like, you have, like, you know, I don't know why I just keep doing this, but you know what I'm saying. So, when you integrate something different, whether it is a new method of stitching or a new stand or a new light or whatever, new kind of fabric, it stops you in your tracks for a second. And so then you have to make a decision as to whether you're going to adapt to your newfound surroundings or you are going to throw the new thing out the window. And that figuratively, is what Pam did with her Elon stand. So, I do know that Kia, she, just recently got an Elon and is obsessed with it. So, there you go. Okay. Oh, okay. The snowman piece you discussed in your last JKS video would have never expected, but looks amazing. The snowman piece. Oh, Frosty. There you go. Oh yeah, because, so she said that she liked, my beach walk, use on that. And yes, beach walk from Under the Sea Fabrics is a amazing fabric, because like literally everything looks good on it, and it's like a chameleon fabric. It's like you put Halloween on it, perfect. Put Christmas on it, perfect. Put snow stuff on it, perfect. Put spring stuff on it, perfect. Put summer, it's perfect. It's awesome fabric. So, and people are highly suggesting K Creations stands, Lowry stands, and yes, Sandy, Keepsakes does sell the light/magnifier that Pam has. It retails at $28.50. Yes. So, and yes, I know people who, Michelle said that her husband made her a PVC tabletop stand. She can't stitch without it. So when you have those new things that come into your stitching life that you have to adapt to, some of them, the ones that you don't throw out the window, are like game changers, like railroading was for me. And then Pam tried to learn railroading, and she was like, no, I don't like it. And I was like, cool, do you, boo. Yeah, Kay's Creations, and even the Elan, I mean, they're not cheap, but you do 100% get what you pay for. So it's, from what I know of the Elan, it's like so well made, and the workmanship and it's just really high quality. So it's worth it from what I have been told. Okay. You shared Mrs. Claus Bed and Breakfast in the Primitive Hair a while back. Is that out of print? I've been unable to find it anywhere. Huh. I don't know. I don't think so, but I will, have you checked the Primitive Hairs? I don't mean to ask a stupid question, but have you checked the Primitive Hairs Etsy? I think I found mine at like an LNS, like in a back bin somewhere. But I will look into it and let you know. Sorry, I just want to write this down so I do that. Mrs. Claus Bed and Breakfast. Primitive Hair. Okay. Oh, thank you, Melissa. Melissa says that Beach Walk Lugana comes out more pink and purple rather than tan and gray, which is like the linen that I showed. So just a heads up. Good point. Can we show Pam's light on our next floss tube? I can show it on tomorrow's. Well, that would require me getting up and going. Oh, she said she'd come right over and show us, so. Oh, yes, Kathy, they have an Etsy. So, yeah, it's just called the Primitive Hair. So what I would do is I would go to, your search engine. If I say it will terminate. So, if you go to Google, and type Primitive Hair Cross Stitch Etsy, it should be a link. Okay. This is the Mighty Bright. So, Mighty Bright. And clips on. And then it has these two, like, antennas kind of thing. They're obviously very flexible. and light. And then there's different levels. So it's 2, 1, or 0. And then the magnifier. I don't know what the magnification is on this. But do you use the light on this, or do you use just the magnification? If she has to use the light, then she'll use the light.
This one is a lot heavier. I never ever use it.
Okay, I'll show that one. And then, pro tip, Pam has had this one for forever. It takes, I think, 2 or 3 AAAs. When you buy this in the box, it comes with the AAA batteries, so you're all set to go. And then there is a base that it slides on to, if you wanted it to stand independently. And there also is a way for you to plug it in if you really want to do that. Like if it's like standing or whatever. So it's batteries, or you can plug it in, but the batteries last forever, so that's really good. So pro tip is, so like I said, Pam's had this light for a good long while. This on the Q-snap can sometimes like slide either forward or backward or whatever. So this is like a piece of shelf liner that she's cut into a strip and then folded the strip in half. And then she puts it in there. So, and then it's like this will onto the Q-snap. Wow, I'm doing a really terrible job. So let's pretend that like my finger is the Q-snap. So it goes around the Q-snap and then just like that. Oh, and Nayla says that Mrs. Claus is still in the Primitive Hairs Etsy shop. So, there you go. Kathy, if you have a problem finding their Etsy, just let me know. And I will send you a link to it. The one I have from Daylight is massive. I have to clip to a chair or table or chair to use. Those are great for travel. Sweet. Yes. And these are also what we use under our Q-snap clamps. Shelf liner. This one could probably use a replacement, but these retail, Janet Stitcher, are you asking about? I'm assuming that you're asking about this. This retails for $28.50 at Keepsakes. That's how much it costs. And then Pam also wanted me to show you that she has one of these. This is from, it looks like Evasion. I know it's backwards, but and it also has a it also has it's just a magnifier though. And this is like the cover, so this is obviously I'm ridiculous compared to this. And this one has that little extra hole thing over there. Not hole, but whatever. And yes, Pam covers them because hashtag cross stitch on fire. This one also has a light that you turn on from the back. And then on this one, the legs kick out, so they can stand like that. So, I thankfully am not in a position where I need magnification yet. I'm sure it will come. And yeah, it was like floss tube. It was her taco sampler, and I don't know, but it was the early floss tube when...
3A or 3B.
Yeah, it was either 3A or 3B, believe it or not, back when Pam's cross stitch caught on fire. Go watch it if you haven't. It's hilarious. Don't worry. We were fine. Okay. You guys, it's 3 o'clock. So, that hour went fast, huh? I didn't show a single whip. That's okay, though. That means that we'll get to him tomorrow, maybe. Or we can do more Q&A tomorrow. I'm cool with it. Doesn't matter to me. At the end of the day, like, these are for you guys. What I get out of it more than anything is that you guys get something out of it. So, like, that makes me happy. So, it feels like I'm doing something for the community, and that is what I love. So, thank you guys so much. And I am going to look into seeing if that 40 count even weave is something that keeps me carry, because that would be cool. I'd love to try it. So I hope that you all have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday. And hugs to all of you. You're fantastic. If you missed any of this, it will be uploaded to YouTube momentarily, probably within a half hour, 45 minutes. And yeah, so I hope that you have a great rest of your day, guys. And if you are getting ready for Mania, I hope that you're excited, because Friday starts Mania. I'm very excited. Okay, I love you all so much. Have a fantastical rest of your Wednesday, and I will see you all tomorrow. Don't forget about the poll I'm going to put up on my Instagram story after this all goes live. Okay, I love you. Bye!